Hey, my name is Jerry with Christian Preppers, and I'm going to show you how to do an improvised tourniquet using your own t-shirt. I would have liked to have done this in my truck, but I'm not that good at figuring out how to set up the phone to get the right camera angles. It just looked just looked weird. So anyway, I'm just sitting on my bench in front of my pond, and I'll just do it right here. But I'm hoping that this will still work. So improvised tourniquets are kind of a big deal, and for a lot of people, they don't carry proper tourniquets. And as much as I would love to encourage everyone out there to go ahead and buy a proper tactical or whatever type of actual tourniquet that you might prefer and want to use, then that would be great. But the truth is, a lot of people don't have them, or you might even find yourself in a situation where there's multiple injuries on a person or multiple people injured. So you just might have had your one, because maybe, you know, that's the other thing too, is that I'm trying to encourage you to get one, but then as soon as you get one, I'm going to tell you it's not enough. So one is none, two is one. So some people are like, I give up already. They're so expensive. So I get it. So what I'm going to try to do here is go through a scenario where you're in your truck. I drive a truck, so you're in your truck and you get in a serious car accident, and you just notice that part of the glass window broke out, give you this nice forearm injury, and it's bleeding pretty good, so you've got to try to address it. So you look around in your truck, and you find in the pocket of your door, you find a glass break, and then you find some painter's tape that was in there. So these are just two things that you find. So you're going to need three items for this situation. You're going to use your t-shirt, you're going to use the tape, and then you're going to use the glass break. I prefer these hammer style glass breaks, and you're going to see why in a second, why I like these guys. So the bottom line is this arm is pretty much out of commission. It's got a really serious injury. You could even say that it's when the arm itself has went into shock. Maybe you've cut some tendons, some nerves, whatever the case is, and it's just not really functioning. What are you going to do? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your hand inside your t-shirt. You're going to pull it over and keep grabbing and pull that t-shirt over until you've got this situation with just your arm. So now you're going to work your arm out of this t-shirt, and you've got it on your arm already, okay? So you've already got it on your arm, and you've got this hole from the arm of the t-shirt. Now, you're going to take your glass break, get it handy right here beside you. You can even, if you want, hold this in your chin, and then you've got to try to find the end of the tape, okay? So you want to find the end of the tape. This is a really important part. So, okay, I just found the end of the tape, and I've got it set up for myself. I'm going to keep it really close. So now I'm going to take my glass break, and I'm going to try to get it into this hole here. And this is why I like this hammer style. It's because I'm going to try to feed this hammer style in and hook this. So I've got this hammer style in here, and it's hooked. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. And then just from here, I'm just going to go ahead and start twisting. Now, in a real life scenario, it's going to probably work just like this, where the material is just going to keep getting in the way. But I'm just going to keep going and keep twisting. Just keep going, keep twisting. All right, I can really start to feel that bite right here. So anything that I do going on from here, I can feel that bite. It's going to start shutting off the bleeding. So you're going to keep going until the bleeding is stopped. So you've got your wound, kind of looking at it. You might even be able to take some of that t-shirt and just wipe away the blood so that you can make sure that there's no more bleeding actually coming out. Now we've got this ball. I'm just going to pull this out of the way so you can see it. In real life, you don't care about really needing to see in here, but you've got this big thing of t-shirt right here, right? So what you want to do is, and I think this is why so many improvised tourniquets actually fail, is because I think they're not tied off properly. And I see a ton of people out there, and they're trying to figure out how to, like, you know, cut the t-shirt or put it around there and wrap it or whatever the case is. In this scenario, and you can do this, this is you self-treating yourself, right? So in this scenario, you've got this, and now what do you do with this big ball of t-shirt, because you don't want it to unwind? Well, what I'm going to recommend you do is you just put it right into your armpit right here, okay? So just get it in your armpit and then close your arm up, okay? So you've got it in your armpit, you've got your arm closed up, holding it in place. I'm now going to take my tape that I just found. Now, if you don't have tape, you're going to have to try to hold it like this. Okay? Can you do that? Absolutely. So if your life depends on it, I guarantee you that you're probably going to be able to figure out to tighten that sucker down, tighten it down, tighten it down, get that big bundle, put it right up into your armpit, okay? And then close your arm. And if you need to, grab this hand and pull it in like that, okay? Holding it in place to making sure that this thing doesn't unravel. Now, I have tape, and at some point, I'm going to want to try to exit this vehicle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape. I'm just going to try to get started here. All right, and then this is the part where you have to be careful, right? So you don't want to release. You don't want to let that go. You want to make sure you keep that pressure on, and you don't let this thing unravel. All right. It doesn't matter if it moves around because there's quite a bit of material. But what you can't let it do is you can't let it unravel. So we've got to make sure I hold that in place until I'm somewhat happy that I'm getting this to bite. Okay, now I've got my t-shirt here, and in real life you're not going to do that because you're not wearing a t-shirt anymore. But I'm going to spur you guys, and if you can't break it, then just let it hang, okay? But now I've got this thing taped off. So I'm pretty happy that this is, I can still feel the pressure even though I didn't tighten it down enough to actually shut the blood off. I can still feel the pressure. I know this is holding pretty good. So just pulling that t-shirt up off over your head, keeping it on the arm, and of course if it's on the other arm, you come up and you go over the other way. So I'm hoping that this is something that you could, if you ever found yourself in a situation where you're somewhat stuck or you need to self-treat, this is a good way to get the t-shirt into place immediately, and then you're just looking around for something that you can try to use. Even if you don't have anything around that you can use as a tourniquet, and you just try to wrap this thing up as tight as you possibly can and get it in there, just what you're looking for is see if any bleeding. In the worst case scenario, you're thinking, no, it didn't work. You're going to take that t-shirt and you're just going to get as much. You can pack it into the wound. If the wound is open to do that, you're going to pack it into the wound and then get pressure on it. So you just lean right into it and get your pressure on it and try to shut off that bleeding. So hopefully this gives you an idea or something that you could do just by using things that might be sitting around. But I highly recommend, I wouldn't recommend painter's tape. I would recommend duct tape or really good high quality material medical tape. Okay, so any kind of medical tape that feels like it's made out of material, not vinyl, I recommend the material type tape over anything else. I think it works much better. So let me know what you think of this video. Hopefully this could help you if you ever find yourself in a scenario like that. I'm trying to build this channel so that we can save people's lives. We can build chapters around the country, get people training, get people together as a community, and just learn how to help each other and help others. So thanks for checking out this video.